From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LA with incredible great news direct from Santa Monica about your fourth stimulus check update in 2021. In today's recording, we'll go over that monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon. Done deal, signed, sealed. $3.5 trillion of checks coming to the American people. And the chief of staff confirms the same yesterday. I have the breaking news this beautiful afternoon broadcast. Then we cut to the recon. $3.5 trillion of checks guaranteed for you. Application based, so a donetta or a donut guy not going to do so well, but the Purple Hawk's going to bounce. I'm going to go over all the deliciousness of these checks. And then we'll be cutting to the MSC, a world exclusive only delivered on this channel. As the number one guy in DC is crashing in with those MSCs and needs your support. It's the biggest payout you've seen in the history of this channel where a legislator has your back and you have his back. I have all the incredible deliciousness, the incredible details, and the really exciting world exclusive news. Starting right here, right now, from DC all the way to Santa Monica on Afternoons LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day and hope the weather is good where you are. Jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. In this recording direct from Santa Monica, where it's getting warm and muggy again, unfortunately, I have incredible details about your fourth stimulus check of 2021. And the number one guy in DC on the subject matter wants to give you an MSC. Yes, a monthly stimulus check. I'll go over all the deliciousness in this recording. We'll go over those monthly stimulus checks and why this is the first time in the history of this channel where a legislator has your back. And you're also only hearing it here. In a world exclusive, only delivered on this channel. It's an LALATE world exclusive because guess what? This is where you tuned in to get the big sums of money. You're going to meet one viewer whose friends got $100,000 last weekend. Did you get $100,000 last weekend? Well, if you haven't, then you weren't watching this channel. I'm going to go over why that viewer got from $80,000 to $100,000. We're going to go over these multiple stimulus checks. We're going to go over the big sums of money that people are getting. And then we'll check in on our new cast of characters. We'll see how their weekend was. You know who they are. It's September. Her name is Calendar Colleen. Then we'll check in with Calendar Cod, who says, whatever happened in July? Whatever happened July 4th? We'll check in with Fake Facts Freedom, who still has a lot of fake facts. She's telling you that, did you know that Mitt Romney came up with a Labor Day weekend? That was his creation. And other fake facts are the Wens. We'll check in with them. They're from Missouri, from Wensville, Missouri. And they're always asking, when? And we're going to get to all those incredible details. When? Right now, as we go into a big Afternoons LALATE. And this is LALATE, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America. Live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. Coming up next is Overnight's Crypto, and then Evenings LA. If you're new to this channel, let me tell you what you're going to see in this recording. You're going to learn about how to get anywhere upwards of $100,000 this week from third stimulus. You did not know about this? You're going to learn it in this video. You're going to learn about the multiple stimulus checks and why only this channel has the world exclusive about these monthly stimulus checks coming to you under the fourth stimulus package. Then you'll be cutting to the big details about the money for SSI and SSDI, which raise your benefits up a lifetime. Oh, I know you're excited about that one. And then you're going to see the big money that is application-based under fourth stimulus. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record for a reason. There's no breadth of coverage like this in the broadcast channels, the number 3 channels, or anywhere online. Hit that subscribe button right now. Get this channel to 1 million subscribers, 400,000 a YouTube record in 1 year. Next stop, 1 million. Like the video too. 3,000 likes and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. The members in the live chat right now have that Purple Hawk emoji next to their name. Let's get to those monthly stimulus checks. But first, have you signed up for those LA alerts? Totally free. Put your name and email address in. It's at news.la.com. And it's the biggest boldest, most exciting thing that the news space has ever seen. No one has ever launched a alert system like this, and it's captivating a country. You can get those alerts on the road, certainly on this Labor Day weekend as well. Let's go over those monthly stimulus checks, House versus Senate, Senate versus House. I think you have an opinion. Let's go over who wants to pay you what. Warren, Sanders, and Wyden want to pay you monthly. Don't say the number of checks, don't say the amount. Then we have AOC and Omar. They say the amount of the check, 2,000, but they don't say the number of checks. We have the House Ways and Means Committee calling for monthly, but don't say the amount or the number of months. And then we have the one that has captivated a country across the board. It is the biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel. It is $1,000 a month after the first month of 2000. Pandemic plus 1 year. So I think you have an opinion. Vote House or Senate. House or Senate. And tell me where you're tuning in from this beautiful afternoon's LA broadcast. Who gets this fourth stimulus check? You do. Democrats represent that. If you got a third, you get a fourth stimulus check. Married couple, 150,000 less. Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check. Double it. Family of four, Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. FEL benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security and Real Wealth benefits. Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check is not income. It's not taxable. The fourth stimulus check would not be a different check for anyone across the board. And the only place in broadcast media that you're going to hear world exclusives about this monthly stimulus check is this channel, where every Democrat is talking about these monthly stimulus checks. Every Democrat is fighting for those monthly stimulus checks for you. And in a world exclusive, you're going to hear the number one Democrat on the subject matter vowing to give you a monthly stimulus check. Turn off all other broadcast channels, turn off all other YouTube channels, only focus on here because that leader wants your support. And you need to be part of this community that's getting that stimulus check. We are making history on this channel, and we're making news, not just reporting it. Let's cut to the big sums of money that are coming up later in this video. We'll be going over fifth stimulus as well. And the big monies that are in this third and fourth stimulus package. But first, let's get some money. Because I tell it cold turkey here. There is no fourth stimulus check coming to your hand this week. Clearly not coming to your hand this week. But guess what you can end this week with? Does $100,000 sound good? I think it does. I think $100,000 sounds good. And guess what happened? 2 weeks ago, one viewer of this channel started the week at $0. He ended the week at $80,000. The next week, he told his friends to come on over and watch this channel. They started the week at 0 and ended the week at $100,000. It's just happening day in, day out. So get the pen and paper ready because I think you like money and I do too. So get that pen and paper ready. We're going to get some big money for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and homeowners utilities. This is what I do. I've been doing this since day one. I've been getting lots of money for lots of people for lots of different subject matters. But this one is a third stimulus. It's money for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and homeowners utilities. Our inspiration, his name is Johnny. Johnny was one of 3 viewers, not this last week, but the week before that, who started the week at 0. 0. He needed money. You know, it's the summer and we're going into the fall and Delta's ravaging and there's no fourth stimulus. Needed money, just like you do. He listened to those videos. And suddenly he realized by the middle of this week he was at 40,000. He was actually one of 3 viewers at 40,000. But he did not stop there because I tell you don't stop. I tell you get as many items as you can. He got 7 items by Saturday. He went from 4 to 7 items. He also went from $40,000 to $80,000. Let's go over the items that Johnny got for himself. This is 2 weeks ago. He got $12,000 for SNAP, $10,000 for EIDL, $2,000 for taxes. He got $21,000 for housing. Then he got another $25,000 for housing, which is rent. He got $9,000 for utilities. Then he got $50 a month for internet and phone, and that brought his grand total to $80,000. This is third stimulus. I launched the Purple Hawks. Have you become a member? The link's under the video. Join right now to become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. I learned Purple Hawks. I launched Purple Hawks in January this year because I said third stimulus, $1,400 stimulus check, but there's other sums of money in there besides that. And now, with a bigger channel, with more viewers, with more subscribers, it's picking up because people realize, wait a second, that fourth stimulus check's not coming right now, but I got that third stimulus check, but you're telling me there's other money on a third stimulus? Yeah. And Johnny had that same convincing to do this last week. What did he have to do? He went to his family members and he said, you know what? I got this $80,000 from this channel. $80,000, Johnny. What do you mean $80,000? $80,000. You need to get this money as well. And they said, well, I got a stimulus check from the third stimulus package. I'm just waiting for the fourth stimulus check. He said, no. You need to get this big money that's available right now, third stimulus. He had convincing to do like I had convincing to do. And let me tell you what he tells us. This is new. A week after he got $80,000, he got 2 other family members, bringing their grand total to $100,000. Just like you've been reporting about, this is what Johnny writes. I've been talking about you to my friends and families, and as of today, I've helped 5 friends save their homes and put food on their table, and 3 family members thought I was completely full of it, till they got Snap, because it was a snap, as you say. And oh my God, 2 family members got $41,500, and the other one got $57,600. I correct myself. That's $150,000. 2 at $41,000, so that's $41,000, and another one at $57,000. Johnny got $80,000 2 weeks ago. Then he turned around, had to convince people that there's other sums of money under third stimulus, and he got them $150,000 in 5 days. This is real. I think you need that money, so get that pen and paper ready. He also says this has been awesome to see people stop stressing about bills. Your channel has helped so many others. You're tremendous. Keep on your godsend. I appreciate that. We're going to start with getting some money for rent. Let's look at the money for rent. Rent, I'm going to go over the numbers so you understand what we're dealing with. We're not talking about pennies on here. No, we're not talking about pennies. We're talking about lots of zeros. Let's look at the numbers. Wow, $27,000 for rent, all the way to $20,000. Look at how many people got over $20,000. Then when we talk about utilities, you just saw Johnny got $9,000. Notice what's happening. The numbers are going higher because the viewers are getting more sophisticated because they're watching this channel. They're subscribing. They're becoming members. We've been doing this now for a while. They're getting used to this, and they're getting bigger sums of bigger sums of money. And there's Snap. You're going to meet someone in a second who's gotten $25,000 for Snap. You just met Johnny and his friends and families. They got Snap in 5 days. And then look at the triple items. People who got 3 items, like Nancy and Nisi. $32,000. Mark got 2 items at $32,000. I'm going to have a big update with Mark. I think it's probably I'll do tomorrow. Because Mark has an update like Johnny did. He got his friends more money than I'm even telling you right now. Mark is an incredible story. Mark got 2 items at $32,000. So for 5 days on camera, I said to Mark, go get Snap because it's a snap, just like what Johnny said. He's repeating my line. Mark has 4 wonderful stories that comes from his push. Number 1, he got Snap in less than 5 days. Number 2, he got more than 3 items, so he didn't stop at 3 items, which is great because that's what Johnny did. He went to 7 items. And number 3, he told his friend and neighbor about this channel, and that neighbor went from 0 to $20,000 of rent in less than 1 week. And that's not an unusual occurrence. I showed you over the weekend, Shanann, she got her friend $21,000 after telling her friend to watch this channel. Shanann says, I told my friend LALATE about you and she's addicted to your channel. She got $21,000, which was $5,000 for rent, $5,000 for utilities, $6,000 for Snap. You rock, LALATE. Shanann's a Purple Hawk of 2 months. Then what did Mark finally get for that Snap? He got $19,000 for Snap, bringing his grand total to $50,500, but that's not the ceiling because the ceiling is the sky on this channel. We never say there's a ceiling. And I introduce you to Lorraine, who got over $105,000 because this is what we do. This is LA. If you just found this channel and you're not quite sure what you're watching, let me explain. I report the breaking news of financial news 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's only one channel in the United States that does that because the other ones, they only do it 5 days a week. I do it 7 days a week. Number 2, I go over the incredible world exclusives about your 4th stimulus check. That's coming up in the third part of this video. And then the only place in America, I get people money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on anything that I can get them money for under these stimulus packages. It started in April last year when I launched this channel because people had applied for that EIDL loan and grant. They were not getting approved. They were stuck in what I call the 330, 331, and the 484 text. It put this channel on the map. I got $25 million of EIDL loans approved. 3 days later, the PUA program was going live. It was to go live in every state on April 28th. It didn't. But I had learned about it weeks earlier, so I knew about how the application was done. I explained the application on camera and how people get money, like Eileen Bellicamp, $15,000 out of Florida. It took us several weeks in some states where they were backed up. We got the money. Fall of 2020, second stimulus was not coming, and you needed the money. It was a holiday, so I stepped forward and I got 2 viewers, $250,000 of rent and utilities, like Tyrone and his family 4 out of Boston, paid all their rent. But now we're doing it again because guess what? You know what I'm about to say. There's no fourth stimulus check coming this week. You need the fourth stimulus. You need money. And no matter how I've always told you on this channel, you're never to be financially dependent upon the arrival of one check from the federal government. That's financial dependency. We don't do that on this channel. We do financial independency, as Johnny talked about. Financial freedom. Getting money left and right, as much money as you can so that it pays for bills around the house and you have more financial freedom. Do not make yourself financially dependent upon the arrival of a check from the federal government. And now we're getting big sums of money, so get that pen and paper ready because I'm going to get you some rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and homeowners utilities starting right now. This is third stimulus. It's still available. It's a lot of it. Here are the introductory remarks. Number one, I'm going to show you 6 places to reach out to. So make sure you reach out to all 6 to start. Don't reach out to one and stop because the first one may say no. They have different eligibility and they have different pots of money. Number 2, it's important to understand that every state has the same amount of money that was given to them from the federal government based upon the number of citizens. Number 3, listen to the keywords I say in this video. It really helps get people approved. Here we go. You're going to reach out to your city hall, your city house authority, your county hall, your county house authority, your state hall, and your state house authority. That's 6. Keywords you can say are rent assistance because of COVID, rent or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID, and there you go. Don't say words they don't know like stimulus or Mitch McConnell's fan club. They don't know those things. And there you go. Congratulations to Tim and Linda who got this wonderful pot of money as well. If you got money for rent or utilities, post in live chat. Now let's cut to the big money for SNAP. SNAP is money for food. You get it from Department of Agriculture. And yes, as Jenny and I say the same line on this channel, it's a SNAP to get SNAP. It pays a fortune. You just met Mark who got this money. It's money for food. You met Mark who got $19,000 for SNAP. Well, guess what? Mark's money is now worth $25,000. Why? Because Department of Agriculture in a live broadcast recorded live on this channel 2 weeks ago announced that everyone's SNAP's benefits are going up an average of 25%. Lifetime automatically in October. Wow, incredible great news. The next pot of the money coming back to you is the refund check from your state due to overpayment of unemployment benefits due to computer error. This is where states had overpaid you due to computer error. Federal government has ordered to return that money back to you. One viewer got $3,000, another viewer got $5,000. And the last pot of the money is the refund check coming back from IRS. This is the one where you pay taxes on the 2020 unemployment benefits. It's coming back. Margaret got it, Cod got it, Michael got it. Payments are anywhere from about $1,200 to $2,000. More about that in a second, but here's a personal message from me to you. I launched this channel to give people big sums of money and to help people. So if you're in the live chat and you have not posted a success story for rent, utilities, food, or internet, please do, because when you do, you help people. The spirit of this channel is helping people. So if you're here to help people, God bless you. If you're not, then I sneeze on you and get lost. Yeah, I've been vaccinated, but I'm still going to sneeze on you. So just, if you're not here to help people, why are you here? This channel is all about love. And that is really an inspiration when you post in a live chat, whatever money you got, because guess what? A lot of people need a lot of love, a lot of inspiration to pick up the phone and say, I need that money for rent. I need that money for utilities. People don't realize that they need to do certain things like that. Johnny's family members didn't realize it. She said, just pick up the darn phone and call for the SNAP. Really? Why do I have to pick up the phone? Because it pays a fortune. What are you doing? And once they got the $50,000 in their hand, they're like, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess I should have picked up the phone. I think you're right. The $50,000 just feels so much nicer. Yeah, and you didn't want to pick up the phone, did you? So pick up the phone and call. Post your success story in the live chat. The refund check for that 2020 unemployment benefits you pay taxes on coming this week or next week. It's a waivable check, a new check every week. So you can track it on irs.gov. Do a transcript search, and 70% of the time it will work. It'll reveal the refund check you're getting, the taxes you've paid, and it'll also reveal some stuff you never knew or not wanted to know. It will reveal Freedom. Does she think that Glenn Beck discovered America? He was on the Nina Pina and the Santa Maria. Yeah, she just has all those wonderful fake facts. Can we jump that? Yes. As we go into the second part of your fourth stimulus check update of 2021, starting right now. Deal done, signed, sealed. Your $3.5 trillion recon is a done deal. Ron Klain, who is the chief of staff to the President of the United States, so the number one guy in the Biden administration, appeared on broadcast media yesterday, yes, on a Sunday, and was asked basically the same question I'm asked on this channel often. What do you mean signed, sealed, done deal? What do you mean? because he said we already passed the recon framework. It's done. All we're doing is going over the terms and conditions. Hello, it's like, it's just like as though he had a purple shirt on. Let's go over all the incredible details of this. The Democrat caucus had met and agreed upon a 3.5 trillion, and when they called it for a vote 2 weeks ago, they passed it. Done deal, signed, sealed. How did they get to this spot? They got to this spot by taking roads and bridges out of the recon and put it into the bipartisan. A conservative publication, ironically, confirms my reporting. The higher the price tag goes on the recon, before the harder it was to pass. But by allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending on the recon and put it into the bipartisan, the overall price tag of the recon got smaller. There you go. In other words, the bipartisan made the recon passable. Important thing for you to know is the following, and I've been teaching this all throughout the last few days, is the way legislators, when it's Democrats with Democrats, remember the recon requires no Republican votes, it's just Democrats with Democrats. When you're just doing Democrats with Democrat legislation, how do you do it? You first meet your friend from down the hall, a fellow Democrat, and you say, Johnny, what do you think about this? Mark, what do you think about this? And you talk it through. And then ultimately you come to an oral agreement about the terms and conditions. Once you've reached that oral agreement, then you write it up to confirm the oral agreement, and then you call the vote, which is a ceremonial vote at that point because you've already agreed upon the terms and conditions. So that's what they're doing right now with recon substantive, but that's also what they were doing with recon procedural in June and July. The reason why you watch this channel is because I deliver breaking news and world exclusives, but I also deliver the breaking news weeks before it happens. And in the month of June and July, I told you the recon procedural was going to pass because they had those meetings, and they agreed to a recon with a $3.5 trillion price tag. Every Senate Democrat agreed to it. I repeat, every Senate Democrat agreed to it. So there's no backing out of this at this point. That's why Representative Ilhan Omar, Democrat out of Minnesota, and Representative Richie Torres both said, we need a recon that goes as big and bold as we want it. We need a larger recon. They got it. And that's why the president told told Jalopal and Brian Shaw to protect my recon, because everything in there is checks for the American people. So let's go over now what they're doing. All last week, the Democrats were in town. They did not leave. And they were going into each other's offices to say, hey, what do you think about this recon substantive terms and conditions? Negotiating the terms so that they can get this done. Who confirmed this? Ron Klain, the chief of staff to the president. Ron Wyden, Mr. FPUC, he confirmed this. Bernie Sanders confirmed this. Chuck Schumer confirmed this, said he's talking 4 to 5 times a day with Bernie Sanders. Why are they doing this now, even during the holidays weekend? Because they understood that September is a very busy month. They have a lot of stuff to do. They first have to agree to the terms and conditions, then they got to write it up, then they have to call a vote. And let's go over what recon substantive is versus bipartisan. Bipartisan is not your money. Bipartisan is roads and bridges, infrastructure, also 1.5 trillion. That's roads and bridges, infrastructure. Recon is your money. That is also called reconciliation, also called the budget bill, also called the Democratic spending plan of progressive social reform. What I want you to watch in this next graphic is the word committees. So let's go over what recon substantive versus recon procedural looks like. Recon procedural, which passed, which is the tow truck over the finish line, is $3.5 trillion price tag. Yeah, we're doing that. And committee number 1 gets $20. Yeah. Committee number 2 gets $30. Yeah. So then recon substantive, which is doing right now, is, okay, now that the committee has the money, how does the committee spend the money? There you go. So again, we see the words committee. This is where you got to push purple power because they're writing the legislation right now. How do we get to this wonderful spot? From Jalopal telling Schumer to call the vote, and her letter, it was signed by 12 House Democrats, part of 100 plus, who wrote the president, they want you to have a monthly stimulus check. Everyone's talking about monthly stimulus checks. All the Democrats are talking about House and Senate. Every Democrat. The people who do not want you to think that they're talking about our checks are Republicans. They want you to think that there's no talk about checks. Conservative media wants you to think that there's no talk about checks. And bad reporters, which I'm getting to later in this video, want you to think that no one's talking about it. They can't stop talking about it. It's not like they're talking about it sporadically. They can't stop talking about it. Let's go over, can we top that? Yes, 7 House members of the House Ways and Means Committee recently wrote the president a letter saying they're putting monthly stimulus checks in there. So we got that group, we got the House bill, we have AOC and Omar, we have Warren, Wyden, and Sanders. You got to push purple power, and we're going to go over more about your push in the third part of this video. And can we top that? Yes. Ron Klain, the president's chief of staff, was actually asked about this next part right now, which is the global minimum corporate tax rate. It's a thing that I sort of pass over very quickly at this time of the recording every day. And that global minimum corporate tax rate was done. It was taken out for stimulus, but it was done by global agreement. And that makes the forced stimulus recon passable easier because now you don't have to raise the national debt. It's all paid by corporate taxes for corporations who make $1 trillion a year in income and pay $0 in taxes. There's 55 of them. And that's how it's going to pay for this incredible recon. Can we top that? Yes. As we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, we'll be going over the world exclusive, you're only here on this channel, about those monthly stimulus checks. What one legislator, the number one person on the Hill, wants you to have. We're going to go over those application-based checks, and we're going to go over everything you need to know to get these big sums of money. But first, the most important thing you need to know across the board is that forced stimulus predominantly involves you picking up the phone saying, I want this money. Calling up a committee, say, I want this money. So if you've done that under third stimulus, you're going to rock and roll. If you haven't, today's your day. Pick up the phone and get that rent, utility, mortgage assistance, homeowners assistance because of COVID. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. When you get one item, you've developed the skill set to kill it under forced stimulus, and I'm going to be so proud of you. As a family, we're going to grow bigger and bolder under forced stimulus. Then if you can't get these other items on the third stimulus, like mortgage assistance or something very, perhaps a little bit more difficult, don't worry, reach out to the volunteers. Where are they? They're in the description of this video. Go down the description, find the link to the community page. It's news.lalate.com, and here's a little bit about them. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. They're Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals. Reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Afternoons LA, direct from Santa Monica along the coast. It is a very busy weekend at the coast for obvious reason. Traffic backed up for miles. Hundreds of thousands of people out on the beaches this weekend. Hope the weather is good where you are. In the second half of this video, we'll go over that forced stimulus check and why the number one guy on DC on Capitol Hill wants you to have a monthly stimulus check. We'll be cutting to fifth stimulus, and we'll be going over those application-based items under forced stimulus as well. So much happening across the board, and it's all hitting right now, so subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube reckon I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. 300 subscribers today. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video. People need to remember to like the video. Some of you are not liking the video. You're forgetting to hit the like button, so do it. 3,000 likes, it really helps the algorithm rankings. Meantime, consider becoming a member so you learn about all the incredible money that's available under first, second, and third stimulus. And if you've not signed up for those LA alerts, please do so. Let's go into the exciting details of this stimulus very quickly, because that's what's promised for you in November. Step one is they're going to raise your benefits up if you're on SSI, SSDI, the Social Security Railroad benefits. Step two is they're going to apply a new benchmark. Then they are going to remove the income cap and remove the asset cap. Let's go over all the details of this starting right now. Step one is they're going to raise your benefits up a lifetime. So that means if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits, SSA, or multiple beneficiaries, they're going to raise your benefits up. This would be after it calls for a vote, which presumably is about November. Step two is they're going to apply a new benchmark. The new benchmark is inflation. Boy, there is a lot of talk overseas about how high inflation is going globally. In Brazil, they're looking at about 5%, 6% inflation this week. There's a lot. The European Community Central Bank is meeting this week about tapering as well. So we're all looking at very big inflation about December. I'm saying about 5%. Let's do the analysis first. They'll raise your benefits up a lifetime under this fifth stimulus. Then they'll apply the benchmark. Let's say it's 5%. That means you'll go up another 5%, not just next year, a lifetime. Because once your benefits go up, they never go down. They're going to remove the asset cap dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't have more than $3,000 in hand. It's going to go away. They're going to remove the income cap dating back to a 1960s law. Says you can't work and stay on benefits. It's going to go away. And finally, they're going to remove the marriage penalty. And love is going to win, and you'll be able to marry your longtime love interest like Rob and Sandy. No longer fear loss of benefits and have your benefits restored. Meantime, will there be a fifth stimulus check? The Democrats represent there will be. And that will be next year. And finally, if you notice people in the live chat who have a purple hawk next to their name and you don't, what are you doing? You need to become a member today. The link to join as a member is under the video. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Members are delivered daily from me to them the big sums of money that are available under first, second, and third stimulus and what's proposed on the fourth and fifth. Here's what you need to know. As I launched Purple Hawks in January of this year, when there was a stimulus check, but I said, hey, don't focus on that. Focus on the big sums of money that are available for you under third stimulus. I can get you $14,000. Now viewers are constantly getting $40,000, $50,000. 3 viewers getting over $40,000. 3 viewers getting $32,000. 1 viewer getting $55,000. Another viewer getting $100,000 in just the last 3 weeks. Reality check. Eviction moratorium ruled unlawful in this country on a federal level, but some states and counties have extended it. Number 2, unemployment benefits ending this week, and the federal government is not going to extend them, and the states are not going to extend them at all either, even though they've been given the money to do it voluntarily. They've chosen not to. Number 3, job creation number from last Friday, the worst we've seen in almost a year. Jobs are not being created. And number 4, inflation's growing, meaning it costs more to buy goods and items. And finally, no fourth stimulus check landing this week. So what do you need? You need this money, third stimulus. Rent, utilities, food, internet. We've done this before. This money is available for you right now. If you can get this 20, 30, 40, 50,000, even if it's $5,000, your life gets changed overnight. So pick up the phone and get that money. And consider becoming a member so you learn more about it right now. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video starting right now. Deal done, signed, sealed. A $3.5 trillion recon is coming to the American people. Number 1, it's a recon. Number 2, it does not need any Republican votes. Number 3, it's a done deal. They've already agreed upon the recon procedural. There's no backing out of it. Number 3, it's $3.5 trillion, which is huge because the first and second and third were this small. This one's this big. And the final item is that it's all for the American people, nothing for corporations. Checks generally application-based. What does that mean? It means that the money is going to be in committees and that you're going to reach out to those committees to get the money. It's not going to come as a check, one check from IRS to you. Rather, you're going to pick up the phone and ask for that money. Let's pull up that graphic, actually. I just saw the graphic on Mark. Look at all the different items he's getting. There's 3 items on that graphic. That's what we talk about with recon procedural and recon substantive. You're going to have to pick up the phone and call those committees to get these sums of money. And this is where you're going to get a lot of money. This is where you're going to get a lot of money because there's a lot of different committees with a lot of different checks. You've been doing this since day one. You've been picking up the phone and getting PBT or PPP or PUA or EIDL. You've done this before. Let's go over some of the items that are proposed so you get a sense of how this works. Checks for seniors, checks for workers, checks for internet. Let's go over some of them. These are proposed. Free school meals for all, checks. Tax break checks. Cheaper prescription medication checks. Checks for farmers, checks for free internet, checks for workers, checks for independent contractors, checks for seniors, checks for dental, checks for vision, checks for hearing care. So those are all checks that IRS would never know to send you. They don't know anything about your teeth. Goodness, you don't want them to know about your teeth or your internet. And so that's why Purple Hawks are going to kill it. You're going to kill it. The viewers of this channel are going to kill it under fourth stimulus because you've been picking up the phone and getting money with this channel since April of last year. Anyone that sort of holds a donut and says everything should just automatically come to my bank account, they're not going to be happy campers, because the whole framework of forced stimulus is picking up the phone. It is not saying what day, when is it landing in my bank account. All you're going to be left with, if you're in that mindset, is, of course, just a donut. Now let's go over what the world exclusive is on this channel, and it's from Bernie Sanders. What you need to know is that the recon is called the forced stimulus reconciliation budget bill. What committee in the Senate oversees this budget bill? The Budget Committee. Sort of obvious. And who's the chairman of the Budget Committee? The chairman. The budget chairman of the Budget Committee that oversees the budget bill. I got it. The word budget's reoccurring. I got it. And so who is that guy? It's Bernie Budget Sanders. He's chairman of the Budget Committee that oversees the budget bill for the forced stimulus recon budget bill. Yes. And so what does he want to have from you? He wants your back. Boy, this is a change from 2020. In 2020, Purple Hawks were always saying, who in the legislature has our back? Now a legislator says he needs your back. Boy, we got this one, Purple Power. Now, I understand. I'm one guy with some gorgeous, beautiful, real orchids behind me. But I'm going up against the broadcast news channels that own 500 affiliates in local stations across the country. And they have done an absolutely abysmal score of reporting on the subject matter. Because why? They don't pick up the phone and ever ask the legislators, what are you doing? So what have they done? They flooded the market with stories like, maybe there's no forced stimulus check. I haven't heard about forced stimulus. Have you seen the forced stimulus check? Well, you know the way you do correct journalism is? You pick up the phone and you ask the source. And that's what we did several weeks ago. Not me directly, but one viewer of this channel. I had told viewers, pick up the phone and call your legislators, Democrats, senators, House members, and say, I need a monthly stimulus check. Did you make the call several weeks ago? One viewer did. His name was WR. He picked up the phone and called Chris Coons, Senator, Democrat, Delaware, Joe Biden's oldest confidant. Asked the staffer about a monthly stimulus check. The staffer said, yes. Senator Chris Coons will be proposing a monthly stimulus check. Now, this is huge. Do you think any broadcast channel picked up the phone and spoke to Chris Coons? Nope. We did. And that was step one of the confirmation. It got bigger. Last weekend, Bernie Sanders issued a statement on the record. I read it, but did the broadcast channels read it? He said the following. Prior budget chairmen usually just sort of do their thing for the budget in the DC universe, but I like to get out amongst the people. I said that means that he wants to hear from you. He wants to hear your input on the subject matter. So I said, not this last weekend, but the weekend before that, pick up the phone and call Senator Bernie Sanders' office in D.C. and express your opinion professionally, respectfully, and politely, LALATE, Purple Power, about a monthly stimulus check. And Lynn Glenn called, and Brother Joshua called. But did you call at the time? Brother Joshua called and had that conversation with Bernie Sanders' staffer. Brother Joshua, a longtime viewer of this channel and a wonderful volunteer from 2020. Had that conversation. The staffer said, yes, Senator Bernie Sanders will be proposing a monthly stimulus check under the forced stimulus recon. World exclusive. There you go. So difficult to get that story? So difficult to get that world exclusive? Not really. Just ask the source. The number one guy on the number one committee that goes over the number one item we're talking about, the budget bill. Pick up the phone and ask him. Broadcast media never did. And so for all their 500 local affiliates, they never got that news in local towns and cities across the country. We got the news. That's why this channel is kicking, is winning, because we are getting the news out there. And what were the deal terms? Let's go over all the incredible deal terms. So the staffer told Brother Joshua, these are the deal terms, or the proposed items. $1,000 to $1,400 monthly stimulus check, somewhere in that range. Yes, great news. And then a monthly stimulus check, 3 to 6 months. Incredible great news. But with a catch. What's the catch? Senator Bernie Sanders needs your support. Well, hey, this is what we got, Purple Power. This is what we do. Purple Power was launched by me last year as viewers were asking, why do I wear purple so much? Why do I wear purple so much? And then they started calling me Mr. Purple. I said, well, you got the Purple Power. You can do things as well, in referring to getting EIDL grants and EIDL loans and PUA. I said, you have the Purple Power. You can do as well. Then Purple Power became a social activism, economic activism type movement, in which I said, change history. tell these legislators to do things. And we had a success story after success story. We got Steve Mnuchin to raise the stimulus check offer. We got Steve Mnuchin to change the eligibility of the stimulus check offer. We had a lot of things we had a lot of things in the summer and fall, but then the biggest one came in 2020 fall when there was no second stimulus check. We had a continuing resolution bill to do, and I said put a stimulus check in there. People thought I was insane. It doesn't belong in there, they said, which it doesn't. I said I don't care, put it in there. And eventually they gave in and they said, yeah, we'll put a stimulus check in there. It's seats for stimulus. And they put the stimulus check in there, and that was history. Bernie Sanders needs your support. You can do this. This is all you. Pick up the phone and call Bernie Sanders' office on Tuesday and throughout this week, saying, I support you, Bernie Sanders. I support you. I thank you for supporting us for a monthly stimulus check. All throughout 2020, people would say, are they hearing us? Do they have our back? Now someone has your back and wants you to have his back. Let's do the calculations. House bill, 12 months, $1,000 a month after the first month. That's $13,000. But it takes 12 months to get $13,000. Bernie Sanders on the high end is 6 months at $1,400. That's a high end. That's $9,000 in 6 months, Bernie, versus House, 12 months, $13,000. A lot of people rather take the bigger cash infusion faster right now because they have bills right now. And that is where we are. Incredible details. You see how there's so much happening across the board. Let's finally check in with our cast of characters. If you missed them over the weekend, they didn't miss you. Because they're sort of self-centered. Here's Calendar Colleen. She's still counting the calendar. She counts that calendar as long as she can count it. What is Calendar Colleen's bit? Her bit is to just sort of continually tell us, it's September. It's September. And soon it'll be October. And then it'll be Christmas. And then it'll be January. And then it'll be February. I appreciate that, Calendar. It doesn't really help us in the equation. She has dates with a guy named Calendar Cod with a strange eyebrow. You saw that? Yeah, I saw that. Calendar Cod, he just keeps on repeating the same thing about looking back on everything. Whatever happened to July, whatever happened July 4th, whatever happened to August. Don't look back, look forward. The focus of this channel is to look forward. And then there's freedom of speech, Frida. Freedom of speech, Frida has so many fake facts. Nancy gave herself a raise. She did not give herself a raise. That was staffers who got raises, W-2s that haven't gotten raises in decades. She has a lot of stuff, like Glenn Beck told her something and Tucker Carlson told her something. Not going to really help us. So freedom of speech, Frida thinks fake facts get freedom of speech. They don't. Nor does that strange eyebrow thing that goes on. There it goes. And then we met Wendy and Will Wen from Wenvilles, Missouri. They just say Wen. And I got to tell you, they were in the comments over the weekend. They were just everywhere. What do they keep on saying? When. They just say when. They hear the video starting to play and they say when. When. Not really helpful to the equation either. So if you do see Wendy, Will, Frida, Cod, or Colleen, just sort of say hello to them in name. You'll see them in the comments. They'll just say, when? And you'll say, hi, Wendy. Hi, Wendy. Or if someone says, whatever happened to July, say, hey, Cod, how you doing? And they'll look at you like, wait a second, why does everyone call me Cod? Because you didn't watch the whole video. Had you watched the whole video, you would have known why you're called Cod. And with that, join me next with Overnight's Crypto, and then we go into Evenings LA. We got a lot of shows today, and then Sirloin tonight. A lot of shows, a lot of programming. There's a lot happening in a video like this. I know. We're covering the ability to get big money available right now. We're covering world exclusives on stimulus checks. We're covering big money available under forced stimulus. And we're going over economic activism. So much happening across the board. I'm excited for you to become part of this family. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk for Power Casino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful afternoon, and stay with LALATE for more.